breed. Thank you so much for all of your steadfast support for this development and to the whole team that you lead at Mosidi.
Thank you. It's so great to be here today. And, you know, I always, when I come to groundbreakings, you know, we talk about the technical support, the money, the resources, and so on and so forth. But I also like to bring into perspective the kind of personal story, because I grew up in San Francisco in the Western Addition, and the public housing that I grew up in, there were 300 units. When there was rehabilitation work that needed to be done because of the conditions of this public housing, they were torn down and only 200 were built. And on a regular basis, I meet San Franciscans, people who are folks who grew up here or raising their kids here, who say they can no longer afford to live here. And in fact, that has a lot to do with how we have not done a good job of being as aggressive as we can to get more housing built in this city. And especially on the west side of San Francisco, where I meet families who are second and third generation San Franciscans raising their kids here, and in many cases, kids are leaving San Francisco once they become adults and raising even their kids, who are the grandkids of so many of the folks who live here, who live now outside of San Francisco, and the disconnect there. San Francisco could be a place where we can see many intergenerational families if only we were to build housing in a very responsible way throughout our entire city. And this is an example of getting the job done. 90 new units of affordable housing for veterans, for families, but also neighborhood preference legislation that I helped to get passed and get supported by the federal government, so that people who live in this community who qualify for this housing can actually get right of first refusal. This is how housing can be done right. This is how housing for the future can be done in San Francisco. It's still extremely expensive, but if we remove the barriers, if we focus on what the positives are, if we think about how this could have an impact on the future, this could be extraordinary. When we talk about not just families and being able to have the ability to live in San Francisco, you know, it all starts with housing. People talk about the need to attract talent. It starts with housing. How do we keep our thriving small businesses in San Francisco? It starts with housing. How do we make it a more affordable place? We build more housing. So this is definitely a step in the right direction, and I'm excited to be here with TNDC and Supervisor Joe Longardio and Bank of America, our regular partners in the efforts to build more housing throughout San Francisco, and I'm glad to see all of you here. This will help to serve families, people who are extremely low income, as well as those who are making $100,000 a year, because we know we need housing of all income levels, and I am hopeful that as we continue to build more housing like this, it will make a big difference in the city and county of San Francisco. And finally, I want to express my appreciation to the voters of San Francisco, because there have been 2 affordable housing bonds. Now housing bonds are enshrined into our capital plans, and we don't just randomly decide to do an affordable housing bond, but because of the voters, we have added over $900 million more dollars to invest in affordable housing throughout San Francisco. So some of those projects that have been delayed are in the process of moving forward because of the support of the people of the city and county of San Francisco. So thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to many, many more opportunities like this in the future.
Thank you, Mayor. The Mayor's Office of Housing and Community Development is an important partnership for TNDC, and without their collaboration, this project would not be possible. In just a moment, I'm going to invite today's speakers up to take some pictures in front of with the shovels. And I want everybody to hold back. You can all join later after we get some pictures taken. But before we take up the shovels, I want to thank everybody for everything that you said today. We appreciate the support, and we appreciate them lending their voices to this. project. Thank you all for coming. Stay a while. We have some pastries that were made right here on Irving Street. And we will thank you again. Thank you. I'll end it with that.
Up and down, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Thank you so much.